So, ciao, guys. Just waiting a few seconds to see if the connection is good, if you hear me well, if you see us well, because I'm not alone. So, we always have a few delays with StreamYard, and I just want to check if everything is working perfectly. So, we should be live now. So, the first one that can write me if I'm in, and if you see us, that could be amazing. Waiting a few seconds more. Would be a pity to start saying hello to everyone and then having nobody on the channel that can hear or see us. So look at that. Yes, it starts. Okay, so before presenting my host, Romeo Agresti, before presenting him, I think the most important thing is to say hello to the people who are already in the chat, because at the end, what Romeo is doing, what I'm doing, what Juventus is doing is only for you, for the people who are watching it, because you are the fans and that's important. So hello to Martina. She was the first one to say hello. Martina is from Juve Designer. Hello. We have Zain, we have Michael. Zorro is there. Sufyan, or Marco as we call him. I Snipe Kill. Then we have Muslim. Hello, Muslim. Andra, Muslim again. Who else? Mohammed. Hello, Mohammed. From Egyptian, from Canada. R becomes. We have Michael from Amsterdam, Holland. And we have a few people. So hello to everyone. Really happy that you are here, but enough talking now. It's time to present Romeo. Romeo, I'm really, really honored to have you here on the channel with me, for us. I believe, in English, it's something really special. You did an amazing podcast on Juve podcast. So for the people who didn't listen to it, go and listen to the podcast. It was amazing. But today I'm really honored to have you here. Ciao, Romeo.
Ciao, amico mio. It's a such honor for me to be here. Thanks for your kind words. And that's not true that the podcast was good, because sorry guys, I know that my English is not good enough to do that in the perfect way. But I started learning English watching Breaking Bad. So guys, I'm sure that in the coming month I will be even better. I promise you.
And after Breaking Bad, you have a Better Call Saul, so you can continue with the English.
Yeah, of course. And I have to admit that watching English Netflix is very helpful, especially if you live abroad. But I think that I can manage this my chat with you in English, but I will make mistakes, of course.
It is, Romeo, and again, I think it's really courageous to try, to dare, and that's also the Juventus mentality at the end. We try, we go for it, we have that fighting spirit, and that's what you are doing now. Thanks to you for accepting the challenge. So let's start, Romeo. I explained you a bit the concept, because I know that people will start shooting with a lot of Mercato questions. I explain a bit the topics, how we will do it. For me, it's really important, all the guests, not only Romeo, but to understand who is the person behind the name. So I called it this time with a special title. I called it "The Man Behind the Myth." So
I
that's
like this
your
title.
title.
I
So
like this title.
I want to learn about you and your profession. That's the first topic. Then we will go to opinions and rumors. It's about a lot of Juventus thematics, like the logo, the shirt, and so on. It's you as a person. Then we go for a small game, really just for fun, and then we finish with the most important thing. The people are waiting. I see already Luca is asking Pogba. So then we
The
finish
transfer window.
with the Mercato. It's so important. So let's start, if you're okay, Romeo.
Yeah, of course. No, about myself, I started working in this world, in the football world, when I was around 21. I started at Calcio GP, that was a sport weekly magazine. The director was Giancarlo Padovan. The chief of the central desk was my dear friend Luca Momlano, you know very well.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember that when I was 21 there, I covered especially the Serie C. So working about Juventus stuff was a dream for me in that period. But step by step, I did the opportunity to do something also in terms of Juventus stuff for this magazine. And then I moved to goal.com and
Yes.
I'm working with them.
That's cool. That's amazing. And actually, the first question I want to ask you, Romeo, is it's a bit complicated, but is your job what you are doing now? Is it a consequence of your love for football, or is it because you love to be a journalist that you are now in football?
I think both, mate, because I'm football addicted, and when I was a child, I was a Vicenza fan because my idol, my hero, was Gabriele Ambrosetti. So, of course, I like to work in this business. I like to be journalist because it's the most beautiful job in the world, no doubt about that. But I think about your question, the answer is really simple. Both things.
Okay. As I know you're always present on social media. You even started YouTube now. How many hours do you work a day?
It's really difficult to answer the question, mate, because there are days in which I work 12 per day. Then I spend a lot of day off. I have to admit that. I'm very busy when Mercato starts.
Yes.
When Mercato starts, you must be ready to cover every single stuff during the day. So, but it's a beautiful job, but normal job.
Romeo, as you said, when the Mercato starts, but now, since a few years, the Mercato never sleeps. It's always on the Mercato.
Yeah. I will live 3 months very, very terrible, but this will be, of course, a particular transfer window because will be impacted by coronavirus. So now it's time for us to be focused on the pitch. Juventus can do very good things because they can win everything during this season. They are fighting to try to win everything. So to be honest, now I'm not just focused on the market, but especially on the pitch, on the Serie A, on the Coppa Italia, and I hope on the Champions League too.
So this year, no Ibiza.
That is the question. Like I answer with our friends on Turin Giant podcast. I think that we stay here the whole summer to cover Juventus stuff. But never say never in the life, my dear friend.
You never know. Roma, can you tell me in a few words, and you don't have to go in detail, but what is a Romeo Agresti day? How do you start? What do you do?
I live a simple life, to be honest. Of course, maybe during the morning I try to do something in terms of business, of hobbies, like go to the gym. But around the 2 p.m. Italian time, I start to cover Juventus stuff. I start to do my job on goal.com. But my life is very, very simple, mate.
I have a question. The first question I received on Twitter was from Enzo_10. I don't know if Enzo is there or not, but the question was, when did you fall in love for Juve? Because you said you were a Vicenza supporter. When did you fall in love for Juve?
My family are crazy for Juventus. Not my father, that he was a Fiorentina fan. But when you talk about,
I can show that picture, right?
I think in that photo it was around 10, maybe 10 years, yeah. And I remember that it was at Stadio Comunale.
Yes.
With my dad, and I was there to ask autograph, to take some pictures with the player. And it in that time it was really, really easy to meet the players. No security, no bodyguard. So I went there, and I come back home with 10 photos. Now it's
difficult
to live a moment like that.
Did it change? Did it become
around
even more?
Around 10, I started to support Juventus.
Did it become more difficult even with Ronaldo now to approach the players? Did you see a change?
Yeah, absolutely. But we are talking about another world. When I was child, everything was easy to meet the player, to get the tickets to go to the stadium. Now it's impossible. Now it's impossible to find a ticket. Now it's impossible to ask Cristiano Ronaldo give you an autograph. But life is changing, mate.
There is Pep Guardiola in the live. If you want to say hello to Pep Guardiola, he's there and he's saying to put a like and subscribe to the channel. So, ciao, Pep.
Grande Pep.
Um,
Maybe in the future, everything can happen, mate.
You never know. Pay attention.
You never know.
There are a lot of people watching. You never know what they are going to say on Twitter and on social media. I don't want that they say Romeo Agresti said that Pep Guardiola comes to you. Right? Attention.
But I'm used to see that. Don't worry.
I have a question, Romeo, because we are at home, we are watching television, and I give you an example. You don't have to talk about that example. It's just to give a context. We know, for example, Axel Witsel is in the office of Juventus for a whole day, and there are probably 5 or 10 people in a closed room, and then you have the journalists outside, and they give us a lot of information through television. I'm asking, and people also ask me, how do they do, the journalists, to have that information so quick?
The good contact. No, of course, when you cover a market stuff, you need to try to be close to the people involved in this deal. So the club, the agent, the intermediary. I don't know if the intermediary is the right word in English, but and maybe someone had some contacts with this kind of people, and then they run out their info. I think so.
So contacts are important. I believe it's in all business like that, right? Not only
you need every day to find the right contact to develop your info. So this is very difficult because it's not easy, but you must do that because it's your business.
I have another quick question for you, Romeo. What do you prefer? It's what you prefer. You prefer long negotiation where you can talk days and days and days about, and you can go in detail, or you prefer quick, done, next?
Quick negotiations are dangerous because that means that you know anything about that. So
it's true.
I prefer long session about talk, about chat, about info, because that means you are in the piece, and maybe you can do everything good.
And especially if you have a news like Pirlo is coming to Juve, then you know in advance.
That was maybe my first good news, because I remember that I spoke to a friend of Andrea, and they told me, Romeo, open your eyes that Andrea is going to sign for Juventus. But it was impossible to believe that in that period because Juventus were coached by Gigi Danneri. Juventus get the 7th place in the table. So I didn't believe it. But I wrote it because the info was very accurate. And then Pirlo signed for Juventus. So it was unbelievable for me to see Andrea at Juventus, and it was a very good piece.
I think you are for Juventus, you are for Milan, you are for Inter, whatever. You cannot stay away from Pirlo, from the class that player has. It's incredible. I'm so honored to have him playing at Juve, because it's something we will never forget.
Just one regret: the Champions League, because
yeah.
he deserved to win this competition with Juventus as well. He won 2 Champions League at Milan, but he did something special in terms of mentality for Juventus and with Juventus. So it was such an honor, pleasure to see him at Juve in Turin. But he's an amazing guy, so smart on the pitch, but also outside. So we call him Maestro because he is a maestro.
It's not in my list of questions, but do you think we will see him at Juventus in a near future?
Like a coach?
Under 23 or management or?
I think that he wants to coach, but not starting with at the youth sector. I think that he feels like Zinedine Zidane when he started at Castilla and then he moved to the first team of Real Madrid. So I think that he followed this kind of road.
Guys, the guys in the chat, I'm seeing all the comments, so I'm not speaking really about Mercato now because we will dedicate a topic about that, so don't worry. But I'm trying to read in the meanwhile, and that's also why my eyes are not always looking at the camera. But I'm trying to read, and I will come back and on some questions later. Quick question: what is, except of Serie A, what is your preferred competition?
The Serie C, because there is Vicenza. Next season, Vicenza will play in the Serie B. I think so. So this is my second favorite team in Italy. But of course, I watch the Premier League, the Liga, the Ligan. We are football addicted.
And if you were not working for Juventus, you're not working for Juventus, but you are covering as a journalist Juventus. If it was not, I believe you already answered what other Italian team, I think Vicenza, or maybe I'm wrong. And I want to know the Italian and the non-Italian team that you would like to.
Non-Italian, maybe Everton.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm a toffee.
Oh, that's great.
One day I would like to go abroad to live another kind of experience, maybe to learn another language, to know a new culture, a new idea of football. So I would like one day to do 2-3 years, for example, in UK for covering a top team there. So
if people from Premier League are watching the show, you can contact Romeo for the future. But at the moment, we still need him for Juventus. So wait a bit.
or maybe in the Major League Soccer, maybe Miami.
Oh yeah. But then I don't know if it's indeed. I think it's more for the beautiful life, no?
Yeah. Because I think that it's so important to get the best job possible. But in my point of view, it's really important the quality of the life. You can't live just for working.
It's true.
That absolutely.
It's true. I have a question, and then we can go to the next topic. What do you think the journalist world, as we know it in Italy, really traditional, what are they thinking about the new generation of football YouTubers? Because I know that you started also thanks to the lockdown. That was one of the good things, actually, because you started the YouTube channel where we can see you for free. Because when we live abroad, we don't have Sky and all those channels, all the channels in Italy. So it's something good. But what is the idea of all journalists versus the new upcomers?
I'm a journalist. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm here to share my info, but first of all, I'm a journalist. So about your question, I have to say, for example, Gianluca Di Marzio.
Yes.
That, my personal opinion, he changed completely the way to share the info about the transfer window, but not just in the world.
Yeah.
So for me, the king is Gianluca. That I met him. He's a very kind guy, very smart guy. So just chapeau. And I worked with Fabrizio Romano on goal.com, and we have a very good connection, really good relationship. So I know that he works very well, and he does every day his best. So I think that Fabrizio and Gianluca are the best so far in Italy. About YouTube, I like to watch some stuff. For example, I appreciate that you asked me if I wanted to join you in this in this live Q&A because I like so much how you are working on YouTube.
Thank
And
you.
I have a very good relationship with Colpo Gobbo, with Kinoshi. So, but I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just trying to do something also in this place. But I'm journalist, and I respect your work. Of course, I think that you respect what we do in terms of journalism.
Absolutely. For us, and I speak for me, but I think for all of us, we are a lot inspired by what you all are doing, by the work you are doing, by that's why I really wanted to know who was the man behind the myth.
But to be honest, my friend, I not choose to come here on YouTube to show that I'm better than you, I'm better than the others. I'm here just because I like to speak with people that maybe they are not on Twitter, they are not on Instagram, they are not on Facebook. I discovered that YouTube is a world, and now I want to explore this world.
Thank you. Thank you. Because, you know, we need people that, and that's because I'm not living in Italy. I travel a lot. I like to meet cultures, new people. And that's also what I try to do in the YouTube world, trying to understand and to have a 360 degrees of you. So thank you for thinking like that. Much appreciated.
And congrats for your shirt. That
Oh, this one, yeah,
the shirt
it's a shirt. We won the
of
Champions League with.
our last Champions League, mate.
Yes, indeed, guys.
24 years ago, mate.
Oh
24.
yeah, and it was.
It's
I
it's
hope
time to bring back this trophy in touring.
I have a question, Romeo, about that. It was not planned, but it comes up like this. Um, how would that feel if Juventus win the Champions League this year without supporters, without party?
That will be a little strange.
Yeah,
But the Champions League is always the Champions League. The target is clear. Try to achieve this goal. No, Juventus will come back on the pitch thinking about the possibility to win three trophies. The Coppa Italia next week. The Serie A with these 12 matches. And
yes,
then Champions League. I don't want to speak about the Champions League in terms of coronavirus. It doesn't matter, of course. We are living a very strange situation, but unfortunately, in this case, life goes on.
it is.
Football can help people to maybe to do something different, and I hope to see Juventus win the Champions League, but that's normal.
Romeo, are you agree if we go to the next topic? Unpopular,
Yeah,
unpopular opinions and rumors. So
yeah.
you don't have to spend a lot of words, just few synthetic yes, no, I like, I don't like, and if you want to add, you
Don't
can.
worry, mate. I'm not able to speak along in English, so that's easy for me.
I will shoot. Unpopular opinions with Romeo Agresti. The change of logo from Juventus.
I like it. I liked it because this logo could be very important to improve the appeal, especially in other markets like States, like Asia. So I like so much this logo.
The 1920 shirt, the home shirt, half half.
I don't like so much. I like, for example, your shirt, but in recent years, I didn't see a lot of good shirt, in my personal opinion.
If you would buy one shirt with your own money from Juventus, what player would you put on the back?
About the currently squad,
Yes.
Demiral, because it's the new Paulo Montero.
And in all history of Juventus?
Darko Kovacevic, my
Oh, yeah?
favorite striker all time.
Yeah, he was a beast, a machine, indeed.
The second name is Arturo Vidal, because I think that he was one of the best midfielder of the Juventus history all time.
I agree. I agree. Most available player in terms of when you ask questions, who's flexible, who wants to stay even longer.
Uh, Give me a second. I have to think about it. But Chiellini is a very amazing guy, and De Ligt too. So Dybala as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dybala is always available to. Of course, it's not easy to speak with them because you can't cross the line, but they are very very good guys.
The funniest, the one that is really funny.
The funniest. It's a difficult question. The funniest guy, maybe Douglas Costa.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he lives like one of us on playing. Yeah. On Twitch.
It's true. He's a normal guy, and he's a lot on social media, doing lives and so on. He's a nice guy.
It is very, very humble.
And the most intelligent one?
Chiellini.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he showed that during the coronavirus, helping the club to cut their salaries. So
He's already part of the management. Also, we saw with the attitude, the presence when he was injured for all the season. He was always there from the beginning. He's already doing his management role.
He's ready. Now, I think that he has still 2 years on the pitch. Then he's ready to be part of the board.
Why did Bonucci leave to Milan?
I think that when he chose to leave Juventus, he didn't that with clear ideas. So maybe he was mad after Cardiff. So it was really after that match to leave Juventus. And we have to keep in our mind that Milan have offered a very super contract, around 10 million per year. So he wanted to leave. He get the opportunity to go not so far from Turin, because Milano is an hour with the car, but he was completely wrong. And he had that.
He realized and he came back.
And he pushed him to come back.
We have the greetings from Mirko Di Natale. That's one of your colleagues. I love
Mirko.
Ciao Mirko.
Mio caro amico Mirko.
I'm a big...
Your great job, mate.
The guys that don't know Mirko Di Natale, Mirko is writing also for Tutto Juve, the application for free. You can go there, and he's doing a lot of interviews with ex-Juventus players.
He does just interview all day.
Is doing great. And I know I started my friendship with Mirko 2 years ago after 11 o'clock in the morning, because Mirko likes to sleep. That's an inside joke.
Mirko is a big friend. He's a big guy. He works very well, and I think that he can still improve because he's so young. So keep doing your work, mate, and see you soon for a beer in Milan.
A question from Alejandro Graphics, that is also called Juventus Belgium on Twitter. He's asking actually the same question with Bonucci, but the real reason why Marotta left.
To be fair, I don't know. No, I think that, after spending 8-9 years in a place, it's time for the club to change a member of the board, and then for the person to leave something different. So, but I think that he has a good relationship with Juve. So he's not mad with Juventus. Of course, maybe you can be disappointed in that time, but then Marotta is a top manager, and in fact, he found the agreement with Inter very quickly. So it was time for Juventus to push their young manager, as Marco Re, as Giorgio Ricci, as Fabio Paratici.
Yes.
But Marotta did an unbelievable work at Juve. We don't forget that, guys.
Absolutely, because he built from nothing. And actually, because I'm a channel that, yes, it's Juventus, but I try to be objective. What he's doing at Inter is a great work. We have to admit it. And with a lot of young Italian players, Barella, Sensi, you like or you don't like, here we see a comment.
Look what he did with Icardi.
It's true.
You get now he's able to spend this money. So I think that he's doing a very good job. Maybe, of course, I hope that he will not beat Juventus in the future, but he's doing a very good job.
No, that's absolutely
for the person that he is, because he was a very Juventus style.
Yes. No, I hope, because I spend kind words from what the Marotta is doing. That doesn't mean I'm an Inter channel. I like Inter. I'm Juventus, and that stays like that. But let's be objective. I had a really interesting.
But we have to admit that he's doing a very good job.
I received a really nice question from two people, actually, from Calcio Bird and from Nilesh. Nilesh is a fan from India. They were asking a bit the same question. Keane, Cancelo, Caldara, they were all sold, and the fans were not happy. Okay, but in their new clubs, they were not really impressive. They were not playing a great football. Why was Juventus selling them? Was it because they already noticed something, or was it just a discussion of plusvalenza or profit, because it's the same word?
We have to talk about a singular individual. So for Ken, it was a simple plusvalenza. It was a plusvalenza. Everton have offered, I'm right, around 27 million euros, and then Juventus accepted that because he had just 1 year contract with them. So it was really easy for Juventus to say, okay, let's go there. Also because it was difficult to convince Higuain, let me out. He didn't want to leave, and in fact, he's currently in Juventus roster. About Caldara, because Juventus wanted to bring back Bonucci.
Yeah.
Leonardo wanted Caldara because Caldara, especially at Atalanta, showed that he could become an important player for the future. Then the third name was.
No, we had Ken, Cancelo, Caldara.
Cancelo. Cancelo is a top player, in my personal opinion. He was the best player with Leonardo in the first phase of the last season. But I think that he has some problems in terms of attitude, especially during the training session.
Ivan from Canada is asking, how serious is Agnelli pursuing the Super League, and do you think it's possible?
No, not at all. Not at all. We understand that in the last month because just Juventus are interested to do that so far. But I see this topic for the future. Right now, that no chance.
I have a lot of good comments about you in the chat. You are a top player. They are saying that we are doing great work. They are liking the interview. And now I will do the opposite. I will ask you something that maybe people don't like you anymore. Can you tell me one unpopular opinion? So it means something that you think that the most of the Juventus fans are not agree with.
For example, I think that De Sciglio is a good player.
That's an unpopular opinion.
That's a so unpopular opinion. Of course, now for him, it's time to let Juventus because he will be the next plusvalenza.
Yes.
But I don't understand why Juventus fans are always mad when he made a mistake. Everybody made a mistakes, so guys. But I think that it could be not the first choice, but the second choice as a right back.
I agree with you.
Season.
I agree with you. He does
I'm not
the job.
in love with De Sciglio, but I think that he's a normal player, like for example, Grigera was. So you need this type of players in your roster, especially if you play every day.
Other topic, because we are reaching the Mercato, so it's the last topic before the Mercato. The just for fun, Romeo. Some questions, strange questions probably. Try to answer me. If you have unlimited budget, buy one Italian player and a non-Italian player.
Non-Italian player, no doubt. I want to see Paul Pogba at Juventus again, because in my personal opinion, he's the best. He's still the best midfielder in the world. Italian player, I like so much Tonali. That Inter are in a solid pole position. They want to sign him. They are talking with Brescia, but it could be very dangerous to see him at Inter, because he has everything to become a very top player. But if I have to answer your question, I say Tonali and Pogba.
If you have to, I just put the hashtag because the Pogba we already had in the past. That was when he went to Manchester. So I launched a new hashtag Pogba again, because we want him again at Juventus.
Guys, but it's not easy. It's not easy because he earns a lot. Because and United are one of the richest clubs in the world. It doesn't matter that the coronavirus will impact them, but they are solid. They are asking 80 million, 90 million euros. So to try to bring back Pogba, you must find a solution in terms of swap deal. If Man United want a Juventus player, maybe you can sit on the table and talk about that. But now it's really, really difficult to buy him.
I heard from my insiders, and actually it's you, because that you are my insider. I watch your videos on YouTube and I try to read what you are writing. But you said that Manchester United is interested in Rabiot, but the salary is a problem. You confirm?
Yeah. He likes maybe to do an experience in the Premier League, because when he was young, he spent some month at Manchester City, Rabiot. Then he moved to Paris Saint-Germain. But now it's too early, because we are talking about that Juventus can win everything. Juventus have a lot of matches in these 2 months. Then Paratici will focus, of course, on the transfer window. Let's see what happened during this period. But I think that it's really difficult to open a negotiation with Man United so far.
To fulfill the question of Mohamed, do you think there are other players they are interested in?
So Juventus could sell a lot of players during the next transfer window. For example, Bernardeschi, for example, Pjanic, for example, Douglas Costa. But it's not easy to find the right solution for everyone because they earn a lot. So you must be patient. You must try to involve them in some potential swap deals, like, for example, Arthur Pjanic, but now Arthur doesn't want to leave Barcelona, he wants to stay there. I think that there will be a very, very strange market, but it's too early.
What's the maximum price that you think, or not the maximum, the right price that you think that Pogba can is worth today? That's a question from Italian Magpies.
After 4 seasons, not at the top that he spent at the Man United, I think 60 million euros, 70 million euros, maybe included some players. So, of course, we are talking about a top player, guys. He's brilliant. We know very well him, because here he showed all the world what he's able to do. He won a lot for Scudetto. He won, if I'm right, 3 Coppa Italia. So I think that Pogba is a super top player. And of course, it's an obligation to try to bring back in Turin. But it's not easy because it's very expensive.
Question. If Juventus as a club was a historical figure, someone historic from the past, who would you compare it to?
Juventus now are very top club. because they have a huge history, a huge story. They have the right mentality to continue to improve in the coming years. But to be at the top, they need to win the Champions League. This is the last step about Agnelli era, because he won a lot. He wrote unbelievable pages of not just their book in terms of Juventus, but of Italian book, of Italian football book. But now it's time to win the Champions League to get the next step.
And now, just for laughing a bit, if you would compare Buffon with a typical food,
wine, red wine.
Great. Chiellini with a book. What book would it be?
Philosophic book, because it's very, very smart, guys.
Pjanic with a car.
Card?
A car, una macchina. A car.
Car. Pjanic at Roma was like a Lamborghini. At Juventus now is like a Regata. No, I'm joking. No, I'm joking. A smart.
A smart. Bentancur. If Bentancur was an object, what object would Bentancur be?
Bentancur object. Very difficult question, mate.
I know.
A television, because it's a full color.
Great. I have a hello from Colpo Gobbo.
Bentancur is a very top player, guys.
Who do you think, because I made a video about that, who do you think Sarri will start for the first game? And do you think it's a right choice, what he will do?
Tomorrow, for example, I know that at the stadium, they will play a friendly game against, if I'm right, the under 23. Then we'll understand something more about the potential lineup against Milan in the semi-final of the Coppa Italia. But I think that you will push on what he did, for example, against Inter in their last game in the Serie A. Don't say Bentancur, Dybala, Ronaldo, Douglas Costa. So now it's time to push on their key players to try to win everything.
Don't you think that if he do start Bentancur, because I believe now it's the moment of Bentancur, but if you do something like that, mentally, Pjanic, you kill him?
Maybe that's possible, especially if say the yes to Barcelona. But you are a professional player.
Yeah.
You must be focused on what you have to do immediately, and you must be respectful on you pay your salary. But I think Pjanic, he will do his best as usual, because he loves Juventus. He showed that during the years. I think that from August to October under Maurizio Sarri, he did something very good on the pitch. Then maybe also because he's not at the top in terms of physically, he had some problems. But I think Pjanic, if he will play, and I'm sure about that, you do his best as usual.
I just want to say that Colpo Gobbo, our Italian friend, is laughing a bit with my hair. So he said hello to
my dear friend Colpo Gobbo. We have to do that in English, mate. So be ready.
Then a last question, and then we go to the Mercato finally. Just for fun, if Ronaldo, because we finished with Ronaldo, if he was a historic monument, like Empire State Building or whatever.
The monument is Ronaldo.
That's a beautiful one. Oh yeah, I love that one.
History, guys, history. He's the best player in the world so far. He's one of the best, maybe the best all time. So it's unbelievable to see him with the Juventus jersey. It's such pleasure for me to follow him during this adventure in Italy at Juve. But that means Juventus are working very well to be the best club with Real Madrid in the world. But they need to win the Champions League.
They need it. I agree with that one. Mercato Q&A, finally. So out of respect for all the fans that took the time to write the questions on Twitter, on YouTube, I will read a few, and then we will also read what is in the live. If you see something in the live, Roma, that you want to answer, go for it. Huh? But the first question is Kandar, and you already asked something on Juve podcast, and I will start with that one. If you have to confirm a new signing from Juventus, not Kulusevski, please, who would that be? That's easy, Kulusevski.
It's really, guys, believe me, early, because the market will be impacted by coronavirus, and we are talking about a season still open. Juventus, as I said, can win everything. So, of course, Paratici is planning his next steps about the market, but it's too early. And first of all, we have to understand if Arthur will confirm is not to Juventus. If he will reject again Juventus bid, then Juventus will need to study something different to improve the level quality of the midfielder.
Matuidi, a lot of people were asking, is he the Raiola tax for Pogba or Haaland in 2021?
Maybe is Raiola tax for the league. We don't know that.
Hey.
Because maybe when they started talking about him for the league, they promised him to keep Matuidi for another year. We know that. But I think that Matuidi will stay. No doubt about that. He renewed his contract. He's not young anymore. So maybe next season will be his last at Juve.
De Jong, yes, no, zero possibility?
According to my sources, Barcelona want to keep him 100%. He's not for sale, so I don't think that De Jong will sign for Juve.
A few words about a player that I think you really like. What about Rabiot?
Overrated player, guys. Overrated player. I don't understand in which position he could become important for Juventus, but I don't understand also his attitude during the lockdown, because he was the last player with Higuain, but Higuain has huge problem to come back in Turin. So I don't understand what he's thinking about his future at Juve, but maybe he's in a trouble position.
I had a really nice question from Daniel from Sweden. He asked, who's coming back and will stay? And you can choose between Pellegrini, Romero, Mandragora, or Solini.
Orsolini will stay at Bologna, no doubt. Mandragora, maybe Juventus will bring back him from Udinese, but he will not stay in Turin. Romero, I don't think that he will stay in Turin because, Juventus have already De Ligt, Bonucci, Chiellini, Demiral, so he can't play at Juventus. And Luca Pellegrini will decide on Maurizio Sarri. I can't say during the pre-season because after this season there will be immediately another season. But he will understand in first person what he has to do with this player. Maybe he could stay to play until January. Then you can evaluate his performance, and you can decide if you keep him or not.
I received a lot of questions also about Awar from Lyon.
Too expensive, guys. They ask 50, 60 million euro. Awar likes everyone because he's a potential top player, potential champs. But let's see what happens. But it's not easy to open a talk with Jean-Michel Aulas, the president of OL. He asks so much money.
I love Jean-Michel Aulas because he's always saying, I love Juventus. I want to do, deals with Juventus. And at the end, He doesn't.
And he sold two players. A bomb song,
Yes.
Thiago. So
And
it's better don't buy from Lyon, guys.
it's better than buy two from Lyon. Sufyan, it's someone who is always following us, so I say hello to Sufyan. He's asking possibilities for Caio Jorge. And today, just before our live, I started to see some maybe negotiation, but I'm not an expert. I'm not a guru. So, margin.
So about Caio Jorge or George, I don't know. Juventus are following him because the Juventus scout were in some different matches about him at the youth sector in Brazil, but he has a release clause at
Yes.
50 million euros. Too much for a very young player. I don't think that Juve will spend this kind of money, but we have to put him in their list because it's true that they are following his processing.
BI, that's my friend from London. I saw him also in the Juventus stadium. So, ciao. He's asking chances of seeing Jorginho at Juventus.
You know, he has a special relationship with Maurizio Sarri because they did unbelievable work at Napoli, but also at Chelsea. I don't know because Chelsea wants so much money. It's not easy to talk with them. Juventus are speaking with Chelsea to try to understand, to do something about potential swap deals. But I'm not sure that Jorginho will sign for Juve at all. I'm not sure about that.
It's not a Mercato question, but where do you see Bentancur in the future? You see him as a regista or playmaker, or you still see him as a mezzala on the right?
It depends on what you will do during a transfer window. He can play without problem in front of the defense, but I like him also as mezzala because he played very well during the season in that role. But for example, if you sell Pjanic and you buy Pogba, you can play with Ramsey, Bentancur, and Pogba. So he can do everything, in my personal opinion, because he's a smart player, also in terms of tactical aspect.
I have a hello to say to someone.
Maurizio, my English is even better than yours, mate.
And is asking for a request. Facci vedere il tattoo. I don't know if he's speaking about you or me.
I have a lot of tattoo, so it's impossible.
I have a small one here, you know.
Mauri, see you soon in Turin to drink a beer together. Be ready.
Guys, for the people who are watching and speaks English, because you are watching, so I hope you understand it's not just to see my lovely face, but Maurizio from around Turin, I will put again his name so that you can find him. I believe everyone knows him, but the guy living in Torino is doing an amazing job for all the people living outside of Turin, actually, but especially from Italy. So guys, find him on all the social media because he's helping you to organize your trip. He's also welcoming you before the Juventus stadium with a lot of beers. It's a lot of fun. You know, what I'm trying to do to build that English community on YouTube, he already showed that it was possible because he's doing an amazing job. So Maurizio, un grande piacere averti sul canale. Go follow him.
Ciao Maurizio. Fammi arrivare follower su Instagram, Maurizio. Taggami. Taggami.
We have a lot of names. Kevin De Bruyne. Is that a possible name?
Kevin De Bruyne.
I'm living in Belgium, so I'm asking for Kevin.
I don't know if would like to stay at Man City, maybe without the Champions League, because a top player was in the biggest competition in the world for club. But I don't think that it's possible to open a discuss with Man City.
Milinkovic-Savic still an objective, or it's over?
I think that according to my info, I get this news today. So he's going to sign his renewed contract with Lazio. He will earn around 3 million euros or 4 per year, and it's possible to speak with Lotito about him because he's not for sale absolutely.
So we have an exclusivity.
Yeah, he's going to renew with Lazio. Done deal.
Done deal, guy. Exclusivity. It's done. It's over. So, ciao, Sergey. It was a pleasure to meet you. Question: how? Because now Sergey is gone. How many new midfielder do you think we will have? And it's Lionel Lippi who's asking the question.
So, if I analyze the current roster, you have to say that maybe Ramsey is the best midfielder of Juventus. If you ask me who I would like to see at Juve, I answer again Pogba, because if you buy Pogba, you can think at the top for many years, because he already showed what he's able to do with this jersey.
Left back. Do you think it's Pellegrini Alexandro, or you think Alexandro will find happiness somewhere else?
It's difficult to replace Alexandro. I don't look a lot of good left back in the world. Bayern Munich have the best true left back so far, because Alaba and Alaba and the second name Anthony Davis.
Yes,
is a top player, so they will keep them. I think that maybe Alexandro will continue his adventure at Juve.
Cristiano Ronaldo, do you think he will extend his contract?
No, but I'm not afraid about that, because he has still 2 years in contract. That's normal. He wants to stay here. He wants to win his 6th personal Champions League, 1 with Man United, 4 with Real Madrid. This is his clear goal. He chose to join Juventus for that. But the relationship with Ronaldo is amazing between the club and the player.
And his best friend Marcelo, he will join Juve?
Difficult because he's a key player, especially in the dressing room for Zidane.
We are nearly there with the questions. We spoke about maybe a secret meeting today. Juventus Roma, Bernardeschi, maybe or not. What do you think is possible with Roma?
I think that they will try to find some solutions for both parties, but now just speculation. Juventus like a lot the top young player Alessio Riccardi, that he plays at Roma Primavera, but I don't know if Roma will sell him, and personally I think that they will keep Zaniolo, so no chance to see him at Juventus next season, because he's recovered from an injury, because there will be postponed the Euro, so he wants to stay there, then he will stay there.
We had a question about Martina, but also Michael is writing in Dutch. He's asking, I will translate. Do you think Dutch players will join Juventus?
Dutch players,
like the Beek, for example.
Like, for example, Van de Beek?
Yes.
No. I don't think that Juventus will buy Van de Beek, Martina, unfortunately, because it's a so brilliant talent. But in the future, of course, never say never.
Our friend Rav from juvefc.com is asking if you would bet which player do you think will arrive this summer for Juve?
It's difficult. I don't like to bet. Because now there are a lot of names, a lot of profiles, a lot of tracks to follow. I think that I will be able to answer this question in a month. In a month, we'll arrange another chat, me and you, and I promise you that we say something about that.
I didn't spoke a lot about. We spoke a lot about the midfield. Defense is okay there. We speak about left and right, but in the middle we are fine. Because I wanted to finish a bit with the strikers. The number 9. We know that Higuain, unfortunately, he had a small injury today, so let's see. But not today, but tomorrow. Who will be the new number 9?
Of course, now I think that Icardi maybe is going to stay at Paris Saint-Germain because they were lost for free Cavani, and it's difficult to replace 2 top players in the attack in the same transfer window. But maybe we have to continue to follow this line, especially for the future, because I'm sure that one day Icardi will play for Juventus. Maybe not next season, but one day he will play for Juve, in my personal opinion. Then we have to wait. I don't think that Juventus will make big offer for Milik, that is still 1-year contract with Napoli. It could be a possibility if they will arrange some swap deal also with Napoli. So, and I don't think that Jimenez, the striker of Wolverhampton, for you is just an idea. But Paratici is used to work thinking about 10 players. Then he buys just one.
We are all big fans of Demiral. Do you think he will be used as a last moment if we cannot sell, for example, Khedira? I know that you said that he has a contract. It's maybe a mistake from the past, but now he has a contract. Probably he will stay. If we need money to buy someone else, do you think we can sacrifice Demiral?
I don't think so, because
untouchable.
Maybe untouchable, not because there is one untouchable. Maybe that is Cristiano Ronaldo and Paulo Dybala right now, but it's not for sale for Juve. Juventus rejected some bids in the coming in the last month from Atletico Madrid, from AC Milan, from Leicester. So I think that they want to keep him also for the next season. But in the market, everything can change so quick. So he's not untouchable, but he's an important player. Of course, I think that Juventus will try to sell Rugani. Also now it's time maybe to sell him after 5 seasons, because he's a pure plusvalenza.
And I call the future defense of Juventus, I call them M&Ms, Meri and Mates. So we need the M&Ms at Juventus.
Do you think that they could play together? I have some doubts about that.
And it's a good one, because I had the chance to see them. I don't remember if it was Genoa or Udinese. I see them 10 minutes together. I think it's the only 10 minutes that we see them together. You're not completely wrong, Romeo. It's a good question, because I like individually. I love both of them. Together,
I think that both together they are too aggressive. You must be patient in some time of the game. Of course,
but I believe De Ligt can learn and is a bit more. He can take a role of a bit more chill in the future. He has to learn and to grow. But indeed, today it's risky.
Yeah. But of course, that are very positive problems for the coach. Because
I prefer have those problems.
You can count on top players, so it's really good for Sarri.
The 2 last questions, or let's say 3 last questions. The first one is from Zlare. 3 players that will leave Juventus this Mercato. If you don't know, you don't know. If you think,
De Sciglio, Bernardeschi, and Rugani.
Good one. Exclusivity, and guys, don't forget. What about him? So it remains two questions then. Lorenzo Pellegrini, possible team player for our team?
So Roma needed to get money. Roma needed to get money until this the end of this month. So everything is possible, but maybe they will try to keep him because he's Romano, was born in Rome. So I know Paris Saint-Germain are really interested in signing Pellegrini, but Juventus were too. But in the last summer, I don't think that Juventus will try to sign Pellegrini again.
I just want to say hello to Forza Juve English. The guy on Twitter and also Instagram is doing a great job also for the community because he's giving a lot of information, translating. So Afnan, really happy that you are here.
He's a top account, and I see his tweet to train my English. So keep doing your amazing work, mate.
Martina again, she's asking for the 10th time Haaland. Possibility, yes or no?
Next season he will play at Dortmund, 100%.
And then a last question. I will take this one because Mohammed is a really good follower and friend. So give us a new exclusive name that can be assigned for Juventus. And we finish with that question, Romeo.
I don't think that he will sign for Juve, but the agents of Bellerin, the right back of Arsenal,
yes,
trade them to Juventus, but I don't think that Juventus will sign him. But that's an exclusive.
So exclusive, Bellerin from Arsenal contacts with Juventus, but Romeo don't think it will happen, but contacts. That's Guys, true. I will leave the words to Romeo and then I will finish. So Romeo, thank you. Thank you for being here. So I leave you the word, Romeo.
Thanks, mate, for your invite. I spent so lovely times with you, with the guys in their home. And sorry again for my English, guys, but I'm trying to improve. So believe me that I will be so better in the coming month. I promise you that.
I hope to see you again on the channel because it was fantastic, Romeo. Really, 1 hour and 7 minutes. I think we reached nearly 100
I speak English for an hour.
Yes, 1 hour and 10.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Amazing. So I'm really honored. I hope to see you again. So in the future, let's see. That's how you think about it. But it was amazing time, and I finish like always to thank all the people who were there, especially from the beginning to the end, that jumped in, that maybe discovered for the first time the channel. Guys, there is that guy next to me. I don't know what side here. You have to follow him on all the social media. Is a new guy that is working with Juventus. His name is Romeo Agresti. Follow him because he's really, really, really good. Guys, thank you.
My pleasure again, mate. And if you want, you will be my next host on my YouTube channel to discuss in English with our friends. So if you want, it will be a very pleasure for me to speak with you on my YouTube channel.
It's a honor, Romeo, and I accept absolutely yes. Martina, Sufyan, Owen, Stefano, Michael, Barat, Mohammed, Sufyan, CR. We have so many people in there. Thanks to all of you, and as always, Forza Juve. Ciao.
Ciao, amici.